custom swivel seats to help me cruise in comfort and style in the 85 G20 with the help of a good friend in Kitchener, Ontario. More on this custom build coming up after this on Throwback Chevy. Greetings, folks. Welcome to Throwback Chevy. Michael Coughlin here, your host. And winter continues here in Toronto, Ontario. We had a cold snap with temperatures exceeding minus 20 degrees Celsius. That's roughly 4 degrees Fahrenheit, I believe. And the wood stove worked beautifully and kept me warm throughout that cold snap. We had a couple of days of mild temperatures then at plus 5 degrees Celsius, and the snow completely melted. Of course, again, we dropped back to minus 14 degrees and got another 3 centimeters of snow. So the wild Canadian winter continues. Touching on the wood stove, I'd like to thank everybody for their questions and comments regarding the Cubic Mini wood stove. That's the brand of stove that I have. And an interesting footnote to all the attention I've been giving this stove in my last 2 or 3 videos. Andrew from Cubic Mini Wood Stoves in Quebec, La Belle Province du Canada. Andrew reached out, emailed me, and said he had been seeing some of my videos on YouTube and made a few suggestions for me in my battle against the creosote buildup issue, which is basically soot, I think is the common man's word for creosote. But it's a black, flaky substance that builds up on the inside of your flue pipe. And because mine is not a double-walled flue pipe, I'm getting some issues in creosote buildup. Now, Andrew from Cubic Mini Wood Stoves reached out and made a couple of suggestions, one of which my friend Mike Crawley and I had been on to already. And Andrew confirmed our suspicions that this may work. Muffler tape, or header tape, it's an adhesive, heat-resistant, insulatory material that wraps around the heads on engines, mufflers on motorcycles, and things like that to keep the heat inside for more efficiency. And I think we're going to give that a go, and that sounds like more subject material for a future video. And Andrew, thanks for reaching out. Really appreciate it. And I've been getting good reports from other people who email Cubic Mini Wood Stoves with questions regarding all kinds of things, including maintenance. And to their credit, they respond. And I believe after the email I received and the stories I've heard from others that they have their customers' best interests in mind. So keep that in mind if you're looking for a wood stove. Now, I'm not an affiliate with Cubic Mini Wood Stoves. This is just my personal experience with the company. So, on to other things. You see, I still have my beard, and I said I was going to get rid of it. It was for a shoot. I'm an actor, as some of you may know who've been following the channel. We shot a project called Marine Disasters, in which I was the captain of the Alaska Ranger, a fishing trawler in the Atlantic that met a sudden demise in the icy depths. And it was quite a shoot. I'd like to shout out to Always and Jeremy and Ray, and we had a great time. What a fantastic crew, and really enjoyed it. And the beard served me well because there was a scene where we were exiting the sinking ship, and the crew was there with hoses spraying us with icy water to simulate waves crashing up onto the deck. And boy, that was cold. But the beard kind of helped me, and certainly the hair and makeup department was wonderful. The ladies there trimmed my beard, so now it is much more comfortable than it was in the time leading up to the shoot. So a lot of fun there. On to the subject of the day. I have a friend by the name of Mike Crawley who resides in Kitchener, Ontario. Mike is a mechanic and a brilliant backyard engineer. And I picked up these seats on Kijiji. It's a classified, an online classified website. And I drove down to Port Colborne to pick these up about 2 months ago, strangely enough, where our chute was in the abandoned shipyards for marine disasters. But I picked these up, and it was a decent price, and they're in pristine condition. They just had to be cleaned, and I cleaned them up, and they look brand new. The bases of the seats, the part that the upholstered cushioned seat is mounted on, were actually blue. So we painted them brown. And thanks to Mike, we created a custom swivel deck on which these seats are mounted. And the result is 360 degrees of motion. And then we have these, what do we call them again?
Lazy Susans.
The Lazy Susans.
Not to offend any Susans out there.
Too late.
Sorry, Susan. You lazy biatch.
$10 a piece, so like hopefully they hold up. We assume they're pretty solid, but we'll find out, I suppose. And they can also be locked down for when you're driving with a custom lock system that we came up with, and Mike welded up beautifully, and he's such a talent. And I've got some footage that I'd like to look at of Mike in action with his blowtorches and his grinders and all that stuff. But it was a big job, and I can't say enough about Michael and his talents and his abilities and his generosity. And look at these things. I mean, it really has raised the bar in terms of the aesthetic in my van, let alone the comfort for driving and the practicality of being able to swing these puppies around and create a larger, more casual living space in my old '85 Chevy. So I'm very, very thankful, and I really love them. And not only that, I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, you can. Seat belts. From an older Chevy automobile, which are shoulder ones compared to the lap belts I had, the ancient lap belts. Now these are burgundy, as you can see, but they do kind of match, especially when I add my burgundy cushion here. It all kind of comes together. But the idea for my van's aesthetic has always been like a cabin on wheels, hence the wood stove and the wood paneling and everything else. And I'm not too hung up on pristine, perfect aesthetics. I like it to be functional and comfortable and kind of rustic. So the seat belts being a different color are kind of really cool. What an amazing thing. Let's take a look at some footage with Michael Corrali at work in his scientist's garage. Oh yeah, and here's the old ones. They were terrific in their day, but not so robustly built. And you can see there's a lot of upholstery damage. And the new ones are really terrific.
What are the chances of that? Ooh-wee!
You're like Dead Mouse. the budget version of Dead Mouse.
Yeah, budgetmers.
Toasty. Tim Hortons.
You're using
Not-
all the latest technology in metal
Yeah.
fabrication. I
Yeah,
see.
Tim Hortons cup. My iometer never fails me. Okay.
Look at that thing of beauty, man. So what you see there is a little lock down to lock the seat in place when you're driving. It's an amazing piece of engineering. It looks like a trophy, man, this thing. It looks like it should be at the Smithsonian.
Get the back ones that drop in.
There, and then that way. That one's in. They're both in. So there you have it, the custom swivel seat build. Thanks to my friend Michael Crawley. Couldn't live this lifestyle without you, buddy. Folks, I hope you've enjoyed the ride today on Throwback Chevy. A special shout out to Andrew from Cubic Mini Wood Stoves for confirming our suspicions that maybe muffler tape would do the trick for my creosote buildup problem, which is really not such a big problem. I just have to clean my flue pipe out more often than the average stove user would have to. But it sounds like a great subject for a video coming down the pipe. And if you like what you're seeing from Throwback Chevy, by all means, subscribe. I'm on YouTube. Just search Michael Coughlin. You can follow me on Facebook. It's Michael Coughlin Soundman. Twitter at RealMCoughlin. And Instagram, Michael Coughlin Music. And if you are interested in marine disasters and other acting projects that I'm involved in, you can find me on Internet Movie Database. So, I look forward to seeing you the next time. Until then, keep your eyes on the road and your hands upon the wheel. We're coming back at you with more unique material. See you later.